Every year, millions of people set New Year's resolutions, yet studies show that 91% of people fail to achieve their goals. Why? Well, because most resolutions are completely unrealistic or ineffective. So in this video, myself and my AI assistant Tiara are going to share 7 financial New Year's resolutions that actually work, helping you build savings, pay off debt, and feel more confident about your money. And I'll also uncover what I consider a very simple hack that'll make your resolution stick, even if you failed in the past. Now, here's my AI assistant Tiara to get us started.
All right, let's kick off our video by talking about why most financial resolutions fail.
All right, so before we jump into the actual resolutions you can make, let's uncover the mindset behind failing resolutions. From our research, it seems that there are 3 main reasons that people really tend to fail at the resolutions. Specificity. So the first one is lack of specificity. So vague goals like save more money or spend less, they're hard to track and maintain. Without concrete targets, it's easy to lose direction and motivation. So for example, instead of saying, I want to save more money, a specific goal would be, I want to save $100 per month for the entire year to have a $1,200 emergency fund by the end of the year. You see the difference? The specificity to your goal is what makes it more realistic. Number 2 is unrealistic expectations. So many people, they set overly ambitious goals, setting themselves up for disappointment when they can't achieve them quickly. So for instance, aiming to pay off all of your debt in a year, that might be completely unrealistic if your income and expenses don't allow for such a drastic shift. It's better to start with a smaller, achievable goal that you can build upon. So instead of all your debt, aim to pay off your credit card or something else that's got a really high interest rate. Now, the third and final reason why people fail at the resolutions is underestimating the effort. People often don't realize how much commitment and consistency is needed to change your financial habits. They might not plan for obstacles along the way or consider the time and energy required to change the habits themselves. So this lack of preparation, it can lead to burnout and complete goal abandonment. Understanding these common pitfalls is crucial for creating resolutions that will actually stick. So now that we know why resolutions fail, let's flip the script here. In the next section, I'm going to share the 7 powerful financial resolutions that can actually stick. And for most of you, I think the 4th idea might really be a game changer and open your eyes to new possibilities, because when I saw the suggestions, I thought, oh, number 4 is really cool.
Number 1, let's dive into our first actionable resolution, creating a practical budget. This isn't just about crunching numbers. Creating a practical budget starts with understanding your income and expenses.
A budget is the cornerstone of your financial well-being. You can't possibly optimize your spending if you have no idea where your money is going. Now, the way I see it, there are 2 ways to get started with this. First is getting the You Need a Budget app, link in the description. That does this automatically for you, right? And if you want to save a ton of time organizing your finances and you have a few bucks to spend on the membership that they have, it's totally worth it in my opinion. But if that isn't what you want to do and you just don't want to spend the money, no problem, we can do it manually as well. So the first thing you want to do is you want to calculate your total monthly income. Add up all your sources of income, including your salary, side hustles, investments, or government benefits. Anything that basically brings money into your checking account every month. Next, you want to list out your expenses. So categorize them into fixed, like your rent or mortgage, and variable, like groceries or entertainment. Now, I recommend that you export the last 3 months of expenses from your credit card or bank account, wherever you do most of your purchasing, to do this properly. And from there, what you want to do is you want to track your spending. So pair up your income and your expenses and see where your spend is and how much extra money you have every month, if there's any at all. So now that you have an idea of your finances, it's time to choose a budgeting system that works for you. And there are several popular methods for this, but one of my favorites is the 50-30-20 budget. So that's where 50% goes towards needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings and debt repayment. But even if you don't like that one, you can research online, find a bunch of others, but just basically stick to one that works for you. So from here, be realistic and flexible. You want to prioritize your spending based on needs versus wants, and be prepared to adjust as circumstances change over time. And this is where discipline really comes into play. God damn it, dog. And also remember that a budget isn't about restriction, it's about empowerment. So it gives you the tools to make informed decisions about your money and work towards your financial goals. So even if you're dreading making one, you're watching this video like, oh gosh, it really is going to give you the most flexibility to do what you want to do in life if you follow it.
All right, let's dive into our second actionable financial resolution, building an emergency fund. This step is crucial for your financial stability and peace of mind.
An emergency fund is your financial safety net. Now, I've talked about this many times on my channel, and I've even made a video about how to build your own, even if you failed before, that I'll link to later in this video. But an emergency fund is designed to really cover those unexpected expenses or help you weather periods of income loss. So here's how to get started. So first, you want to make sure to set a clear goal and aim to save 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. Second, you want to start small and begin with a goal of saving your first $1,000. This initial milestone can provide motivation to keep on going. Third, you want to open a separate high-yield savings account and keep your emergency fund separate from your regular checking account. That'll just basically help you avoid temptation and realize that once it's in that other account, it's considered gone once it's in the savings account. Fourth, it's a good idea to automate your savings and set up recurring transfers from your checking to your savings account directly, right? This set it and forget it approach, it makes saving basically feel effortless and you never even get tempted because the money's just moved and you're not really paying attention. Now, fifth, if your income is coming up short, look for ways to boost your savings by doing things like selling unused items online or cutting unnecessary expenses or using windfalls like tax refunds to grow your fund faster. Keep in mind too that building an emergency fund, it's a marathon and not a sprint. Consistency is the key, but the cool thing is that once it's built, you really no longer have to worry about it and you can focus on investing for your future in other ways.
Great. Let's move on to our third actionable financial resolution, paying off high-interest debt. This step is crucial for improving your overall financial health and freeing up money for other goals.
All right, so high interest debt like credit card balances, they can be a major drain on your finances. So here's a strategy to really tackle that effectively. So first, you want to list all your debts. You want to write down each debt, its balance, and the interest rate for that debt. Second, you want to prioritize your debts. So focus on paying off the highest interest debt first. This is often what they call the avalanche method. And you want to do this because that's the debt that's going to cost you the most in the long run. Third, you want to make minimum payments on all your debts. And you want to ensure that you're meeting the minimum requirements for each of your debts to avoid penalties. But then you want to take extra money that you have, any extra money, and put it towards the highest interest debt that we were focused on in step 2. And lastly, consider balance transfer options. So if you have good credit, you might be able to, transfer high interest debt like what you'd have here to a card with a 0% APR over here. Doing that, you won't have to worry about, the interest rates at all, but instead you can just lump it all together and pay it all off as quickly as possible so you can get the 0% interest on it. Now, when paying off your debt, I recommend celebrating small victories along the way to stay motivated. So if you have a lot of debt right now, this process is going to require some real sacrifices. But if you're able to really focus on this for the entire year, it's going to be so much less stressful compared to what you're dealing with if you currently have a lot of, bad debt on the books, if you will.
Now, let's dive into our fourth actionable financial resolution. Start investing where you aren't already. This resolution is all about expanding your investment horizons and diversifying your portfolio to potentially boost your long-term financial growth.
Now, I personally love this idea, and I've done this myself over time. So I think one of the biggest problems that most investors have is that they kind of stick to only one investment strategy and they don't diversify, right? To better understand all the other methods. So while I understand the concept of, not fixing something that isn't broken, I think it's a good idea if you're comfortable with investing to expand your horizons a little bit and explore other ideas. So here's how you can approach this resolution. So first, assess your current investments, right? Take stock of what you're already doing. Are you contributing to a 401k? Do you have an IRA? Have you invested in individual stocks, crypto? Just think about everything that you're already doing and write that down. Then you want to kind of brainstorm and come up with all the ways to invest and identify gaps, right? So look for areas where you're not currently investing. This could be retirement accounts or index funds or even, alternative investments like real estate or cryptocurrencies. So once you've identified, where your money is being invested and where it's not, and you kind of see something that you think, maybe that would be cool to invest in, that's where you begin, right? And then you start with small, regular investments in your chosen new area. Now this approach, it's known as dollar cost averaging, so it can help reduce the impact of a market that's really volatile. And you don't want to go hard on this new investment strategy in the first 3 to 6 months. You really just want to kind of slowly contribute what you consider a small amount of money that's different for everybody, and watch how the investment actually performs. And then, of course, you want to educate yourself. So as you venture into new investment territory, take time to learn about the assets that you're investing in. So understanding the risks and potential rewards will help you make informed decisions. And remember that diversification is key to a robust investment strategy. So by expanding into areas where you aren't already invested, you're spreading your risk and potentially opening up new opportunities for growth. And who knows, maybe by doing this, you'll learn enough about one investment strategy where you can find an edge and actually increase your returns more than what you're currently getting already, based on a new investment strategy that you try.
All right, let's move on to our 5th actionable financial resolution, implementing a no-spend week each month. This unique approach can be a game changer for your budget and savings goals.
Okay, so I think that this is a pretty interesting idea, and I've never done it myself. Now, I don't know that it would really be possible for me to swing this because we have 2 kids in the house, who are adorable, by the way. But I think that if we went grocery shopping before the week started, we could probably make it work, but it would be tough for us as a family to make it work. But here's how, a no-spend week, here's how it actually works. So first, you choose your week, right? You pick a week each month where you'll commit to not spending on any non-essentials. And then secondly, you got to define essential spending. So this typically includes things like rent, utilities, and groceries. Everything else is off limits during this no spend week. Third, you want to plan ahead. So before your no spend week, you really need to make sure that you have everything that you need. And this might mean, meal prepping or filling up your gas tank. Fourth, you want to find free alternatives. So instead of going out, look for free activities like hiking or visiting a local park or having a movie night at your house. And finally, fifth, track your savings. So keep record of what you would have spent during this week and then see what you actually spent. That can be incredibly, incredibly motivating if you really stuck to it. So the real beauty of a no spend week is that it not only saves you money in the short term, right? But it also would make you kind of second guess purchases in the future, right? If you just had a whole week where you didn't spend on non-essential, and then all of a sudden, you're walking around the store and your kid wants toys or something like that, you might say, well, you have a lot of toys at home. Do we really need that? And it just kind of does a little, mental karate, if you will, to make you think a little bit harder.
Next, let's get into our 6th actionable financial resolution, creating a financial date night. This might sound a bit unconventional, but it's a powerful tool for couples to align their financial goals and strengthen their relationship.
Now, I really think that this is an interesting strategy. So the number one problem in most marriages is related to finances. And if you're able to make this into a nice, relaxed night, as opposed to a confrontation, which it usually is, that's a win in and of itself, right? If you don't have a significant other, then consider partnering with a close friend and just talk about finances with them instead. The idea here is to make talking about money comfortable and to keep track of what's actually going on. So that's really the most important thing. Most people just don't even do that. So here's how to create a financial date night, right? First thing you want to do is you want to set a regular schedule, okay? So choose a specific day of each month for your financial date night. Consistency is key here. Second, you want to create a relaxed atmosphere. So this isn't meant to be stressful. Maybe you have a nice meal or your favorite snacks while you talk. Just something to make it, less confrontational. Just bring the mood down to where you're both in a good mood. Third, review your finances together. So look at your income, your expenses, and your progress towards your financial goals. Fourth, you want to discuss short-term and long-term goals. So are you saving for a vacation? Are you planning for retirement? Make sure that you're on the same page with your financial partner so that there's no real surprises there. And fifth, I've said this before, but I really believe in it, celebrate the wins, right? Acknowledge the progress that you've made, no matter how small it is. And remember that the goal is to make financial discussions a positive, regular part of your relationship. It's really about working together as a team towards your shared future and working to accomplish your dreams together.
All right, let's dive into our 7th actionable financial resolution: automating your finances. This strategy can be a game changer, making it easier to stick to your financial goals without constant effort.
So really the best case scenario here is that you get your money into your account on payday and automation just puts money into investments or savings, pays your bills, and you really have the rest of that money to do what you want with it. So taking this approach makes things simple, and simple is good when it comes to finances. So here's how to automate your finances effectively. So first, set up direct deposit. So if you haven't done that already, arrange for your paycheck to be automatically deposited into your bank account. I think most people do that, but make sure you do if you haven't. Next, you want to automate bill payments. So use your bank's online bill pay feature or set up automatic payments with your service providers to ensure that bills are paid on time every single month automatically. So third is to automate your savings. So set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings account on payday. This way you're really paying yourself first, which is a good habit to get into. Fourth, automate your investments. So if you're contributing to a 401k or an IRA, set up automatic contributions. For other investments, many platforms, they allow for scheduled or automatic payments as well. And fifth, use apps for micro savings. So consider using apps that round up your purchases and save or invest the difference automatically. So I'm a huge fan of Acorns, link in the description, as it's done really well for me, but go ahead and choose whatever app you'd like. And remember here, the key is to really try to set it and forget it. So by automating your finances, you're making it easier to stick to your financial plans without having to make, any constant decisions. You basically create the path and say, this is how we get there, set it all up, and you're good. Just keep working and making the money and you should be good.
Now that we've covered how to automate your finances, you might be thinking, what was that hack Ron mentioned at the beginning of the video to make your resolution stick?
Tiara, I was planning on getting to that. I did not forget. But we did hint at it previously, right? So starting small and being specific in your goals is a really powerful strategy for financial resolutions, right? So this approach, it provides clarity and allows you to track progress easily and builds momentum through a series of small wins. That's a huge deal. So by breaking down the larger financial aspirations into smaller, manageable steps, you're more likely to stay motivated and see tangible results, which will set you up, right, for long-term success in your financial journey. Plus, and this is really my favorite part, is that you can just simply use math to work backward to understand exactly what you need to contribute to achieve your goals. Now, you want your goals to be realistic, but math, it just doesn't lie. So it's nice to think that things in the financial world, it can be predictable if you simply create and stick to a plan. Speaking of sticking to a plan, so as mentioned earlier, you need a plan to build an emergency fund if you don't already have one. And this video right here that I made with Tiara previously will help you do it. But if that video doesn't seem interesting to you, check out this video right here. YouTube thinks that you'll like it, and I hope that you do. And lastly, before you go, remember to subscribe to unlock financial success, one AI chat at a time. Thanks so much for watching.